Hello friends, this is Hari from the channel Decode with me. Today we are going to work on environment setup for Android development in Windows 11. Let's see what it is. The agenda for today's video is requirement and environment setup. Let us proceed with system requirement first. The system requirement is categorized into software requirement and hardware requirement for a smoother running environment setup. First, if you have a system requirement in order, you need an operating system which has an LTS or a stable support like Windows 8 or 8.1 or 10 or 11 or a Mac Sierra or a Linux 14.04, which is little old. We can consider going after like 18.04, and a 64-bit architecture. And even if you have a 64-bit architecture, please choose a processor with more than second generation Intel or an fourth or fifth generation AMD CPU with virtualization technology. And you need minimum of 8 GB RAM and 8 GB of disk space and 20 GB for additional files that we download for Android Studio. And minimum screen resolution of 1280 into 800. And let us proceed to the next thing, which is environment setup. For doing the environment setup, we are going to start with the core or backbone setup, where the core or backbone setup is nothing but which forms the fundamental elements of your environment, which is the Android Studio, which is the integrated development environment, which is called IDE in short, which can be downloaded from the official link, which I have given in the description. So let us visit the official site for downloading it. So the official site for downloading the Android Studio is here. You can download it from here, and if you have any other different from what I have here like Mac or Linux, you can download that also from here. And once it is downloaded, you can start installing like any other software that you have downloaded so far. So I have already downloaded the Android Studio. Let us start installing it by double clicking it. The package is getting verified, and I have a secondary screen, so some of the things have been moved there. I'll just move it again here. So you should click yes, and the wizard appears. Click next. By default it is checked, and you have Android virtual device, which is checked by default, but you have to make sure it is checked and proceed. And this is the installation path for Android Studio. Click next and click install. It started installing, so we have to wait for a few seconds to get the installation completed. Meanwhile, let's talk about the next thing that we have to do. The next thing that we have to do is Java environment setup, or in other words JDK. So the Android comes with the open JDK, so you don't need to download an external JDK and set path and link it to your Android Studio. Even if you want to do that, I'll give you the download link in the description. You can download it there, and I'll show you how to set path. So for now, let's move there. So it is completed. Click next and click finish. It will start Android Studio. It will be the first wizard you will see after installing the Android Studio. From here, you have to click on new project and click on empty activity to create a new empty project. So let us say that my application name is Decode app. So the package name is by default it will be like com.example, but I have already used an identifier. You can use that which is a unique identifier for your application. So the package name consists of three parts. First one is the organization name and the sub-organization name or the development unit in which the application is being developed, and the application name. So by default, the application name is taken as the package name suffix as the last part. If you want, you can also change that too. So the save location is by default inside Android Studio projects. You can change that if you want. And the language is Kotlin and Java. So Kotlin is widely used now for development. So I choose Kotlin, and you can set the minimum SDK version as you want. As recommended, you can keep it as Marshmallow, which is API 23, Android level 6.0, which covers a 95.6% of devices as whole. And click on finish. This will create your new project. So this is creating your new project. So this part completes your installation for Android Studio. Then let's next move to setting up JDK. For that, you have to download the JDK from the official link, which I have given in the description. So the next step is installing JDK, which is basically setting up your Java environment. As I said earlier, Android Studio comes with OpenJDK. You don't need to download it separately. But even if you want, you can do that by downloading from the link I have given in the description. So let us see how that is done. So this is the official link for downloading Java JDK, from which I am downloading the Java package for x64, which I have already downloaded. It's there in software. So I need to reinstall it. It will ask for yes, give yes. It says that I have already installed it in my computer. If you want to reinstall it, click yes. And the next wizard says that this will guide you for the upcoming process. Click next. So this installs your JDK. And next step is the API documentation and developer guides that you need. If you want to take a look, you can go there. For now, I'll close it. And you have to create path for the JDK that you have set up. So click on env. Type env, and you'll get the system properties. Under this section below, you'll be finding environment variables. Click on that. A dialog will appear, from which you have to create a new path variable. Like I have set this before. Either you can edit it if you have already there, or if you don't have it, you have to create one. I recommend you to create it under system variables, because this will be available for global users. Like global user in the sense, any user that has been created under your system will have access to this path. If you create something here, it will be available only to the user who is available here. So click on new and type java underscore home path for JDK. I'll just paste it here. If you don't know how to find the JDK path, you just have to go to C. You have to go to program files and find Java, and there you have the JDK installed, and you have to copy the path and paste it here, which forms your new system variable as Java home. Just click OK, it will get saved. Then click OK again, and then close this dialog. If you want to check it in command prompt, you can do that by by typing the command echo space percentage symbol path name, and that you can see the path for which JDK has been set up. Okay, for now we have completed the installation of Android Studio and we have set up the JDK and Java home path and we have installed Android Studio successfully. Let's see next what we have to do. Next is Android SDK. You have to install the required tools for your development in Android SDK, which is already integrated inside your Android Studio. Android SDK is nothing but a standard development kit for your Android development, which will provide you the necessary tools and images and all other supporting utility softwares for your Android development, which can be found inside Android Studio. Let's see how to do that. So inside your Android Studio, you have to find your SDK. So under action section, I am typing SDK. You can see that in the list first occurrence is SDK manager, and it will take you to the settings page under Android SDK section, which is also accessible in settings menu, but I'm using a shortcut. So this is your SDK location where all your SDK files will get stored. Now you have to select which kind of SDK version that you want to use for your Android development, which is basically your target. Application that you develop targets a specific API level. So for which you need this. You can select the appropriate version for which you have to target your application. And the SDK tools, which is very essential in development process, but some of them are ignorable, like an optional thing that you can either use it or not. That is based on your personal or requirement. So for now I am choosing Intel x86 emulator, because if you choose an x86 you need an emulator accelerator. So I'm choosing this. I'm just clicking apply and then clicking OK, and I have to click accept and proceed with that. And for this I need to set an emulator setting. The recommended is 2 GB. So this is completely based on your hardware performance. Recommended is 2. If you have a system as mentioned in my specification, you can for sure select 2 GB, which won't take much process. So click on next and click accept and next. So it's getting installed. So if you want some things need to be downloaded, for example, if you're targeting an API system of 32, click on this and click on apply. Why am I downloading this? Is the reason because if you're targeting your application for API level 32, you need this system image inside your SDK. So you need to download this as a compulsory thing, which is not optional. So I'm downloading this. I can do this in background, just applying it and clicking on OK. So it's getting downloaded and unzipping. So meanwhile, let's see what's the next thing we have to do. So next thing is the emulator setup. So we have to integrate the emulator with our Android Studio, which is also a part of Android Studio. So let's see how we have to do that. You can see the device manager option on the right hand side. You can click that. Click on create device and select the device definition for which you have to create the emulator. The category is phone if you want to create for a phone. If you are developing an application for TV or Wear OS, depending upon this, you can create the emulators. Emulator is basically serves a purpose of virtual emulation. If you don't have a physical device, you want to run your application, or you have an iOS phone or a BlackBerry or something else which has a different platform from Android, you need this emulator in order to run your application. That is the main reason why you have this, and you'll also have different types of application and different screen sizes and different hardware specifications, so that you can see how your application is reacting to different environments, and you can also mock the geolocations, and you can also change the network latencies, which I will explain you in the later part. So for now, I'm selecting Pixel 4 and then clicking on next. So now there are two API levels available. One is 31 and 32, which has already been downloaded in my system. If you need to target some other system, you can download that. But going for the latest is the best thing to do. So I'm clicking on API level 32 and clicking on next, and you have to give a AVD name. By default it says Pixel 4 AP32, which is good, and you have to select the orientation. By default it is portrait, and graphic is emulated by automatic. It's fine. If you want to change the device camera settings, like you want to use webcam, you can change it here, or else you can use emulator. For back they use mostly virtual scene. If you don't need that, you can use emulator or a webcam or anything that you want. So we have set up the emulator settings for camera. For network it is like full, which uses your system bandwidth. If you want to minimize it, you can use some other spec, because if you are developing an application in a low network reception area, this will be useful to see the emulation, how this application reacts in a low network reception areas. So for which you can change the settings. This can be done later also. And this latency is also the same thing. Like the network latency plays a main role when you are making API request. So if you set as none, it will take full capacity of the hardware, and there won't be much latency depending on your bandwidth and the API that you use. But for now I'm setting none, and these options are like cold boot, quick boot. These are boot options when you are starting an emulator. If you select cold boot, it is like completely shutting down the system and turning it on. Quick boot is like it is like idle system which stores the state and it will come up quickly. So these are the settings that you can have under boot options. And memory and storage, I don't want you to change these settings in the beginning of your development process. Later we can do this depending upon the need. And now you can click on finish. So now your emulator has been created. So you can start that by clicking on the start button. So the Android Studio is starting the AVD. AVD is nothing but Android virtual device. So we are starting a virtual device, for which we have so far done the installation. So it's trying to connect to the emulator. We have to wait few seconds for connecting it to the emulator. So now the emulator got booted up. So this is like for the very first time you're turning on the mobile. So but it won't ask you for language and time zone setup and accounts and other stuffs. This is for basically running your application in a simulated environment. So emulator is getting started. This is like first time setting up your device, but it won't ask you for too many details to be filled up like a real device. So you don't have to worry about those things. You can create as many as emulator you want. So now the emulator setup is complete. Now you can use it like a device that you use in hand. And let's see what we're up to next. So we have so far completed the core backbone setup, like setting up Android Studio, JDK setup, Android SDK, and emulator. Let's see what we have to do next. We have to set up the supporting tools and accessories required for development, which is the USB cable, Android device, and a screen mirroring tool. This screen mirroring tool is essential for viewing a real-time device inside the same screen where you are doing the development. So I have given the link in description. Please download it to use it, which is part of a genymotion GitHub project. I have given the link. Let us download this. So friends, now we have downloaded all the necessary packages for Scrappy and extracted it. So let us open this file named as strcpy, which is an executable file. Before this, we have to make sure that we have done our setup for ADB connection with screen copy. So we have to make sure that you have a connected device. So I have a connected devices here, which is Samsung. So let me see, can I connect to this? So on double clicking this, it opens this window with help of this terminal running some command. So close this. So now I have a real-time device connected. So you can use this tool to mirror your screen directly via USB cable. And there are some preliminary things that you have to do. Go to settings and make sure you have enabled developer option. If you don't have the access, please enable it by tapping on your build number 5 times. See, my build number is here. If I tap it, shows that developer mode has already been enabled. If you don't have access, enable it and go to developer option and make sure that you have enabled USB debugging and also wireless debugging, because we'll be needing it in the future for connecting wireless ADB option. I'll be explaining that how. So you can go to the device manager and click on physical, and if you want to pair using Wi-Fi, click on this option. Now it is preparing for an Wi-Fi connection, so it will look for the available devices in the Wi-Fi network. So it says that system does not meet the requirement to support Wi-Fi pairing. Please update to the latest version of platform tool. So go to the platform manager, go to SDK tools, find platform tools, build tools. So here the platform tools is there. Click on this, apply, click on OK. It's just 6 MB. It will get installed in no time. We can make that to go in background also, but it got finished. Click on apply, click on OK, click on close. Let's try this once again. Yes, no, the QR code is visible. You can scan this from your device. I'm now going to pair this using pairing code. Let's see if this is in this network. If I'm connected to the same network, it will show here. So I have to go to my phone and I have to select the option wireless debugging. Sorry for that. I have to go to my phone and I have to select wireless debugging. So pair using pairing code. So this is the pairing code. So I have to go to Android Studio. See, now it's available. I have to click on pair and type the code that was shown in the screen. 212457. Now it got paired. Now I can install any device without the USB cable. So this is how a wireless ADB function works. So the setup is complete for wirelessly installing your application into the phone. Let us try. So the application is installed wirelessly. So this is how wireless ADB function works. So friends, for now we have completed all the environment setup sections. We have completed the Android Studio setup, JDK, followed by Android SDK and Emulator Setup, and the supporting accessories like setting up an USB cable, Android device, and screen mirroring tool. So please do support me. So friends, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe my channel and like and press the bell icon for getting notified for future updates. Thank you.